Sonic the Hedgehog, we've all heard of him by now. Now imagine him, but scary. I know everyone is currently thinking of Sonic.exe right now, and I mean, why wouldn't they? It's the most infamous Sonic creepypasta to ever exist, with tons of games which improve upon the idea and expand on it. Honestly, it's crazy it got so popular, but yeah, again, most iconic creepypastas we know today are badly written or wasted potential. I'm not here to talk about EXE or its countless spin offs. There's more than one way to make Sonic scary, and I want to touch up on it. So, in this video, we're gonna go into the world of Sonic creepypastas and talk about them, and I'll give my opinion on them.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
This creepypasta is one of the most interesting because, from my knowledge, it's one of the first known Sonic pastas to ever exist. Yes, it even predates Sonic.exe. This creepypasta was made in the year 2010 and was probably heavily inspired by Suicide Mouse.avi, considering its music is used in the pasta. This pasta is also in video form. The video starts off with a Sonic title screen with Sonic and Tails. I like to mention this title screen reminds me of that one Sonic bootleg called Sonic the Hedgehog 4, not to be confused with the actual Sonic 4, which had a similar title screen. And fun fact, it's a bootleg of a Speedy Gonzales game of all things. Anyway, upon starting the game, it starts with the Act 0 called Not So Special. Sonic jumps into a ring and ends up in a Sonic 1 special stage. He jumps into a goal and spooky stuff happens. Wow. Then Sonic ends up in Act 1, which is basically on top of the loop-de-loops from the chemical plant zone from Sonic 2. Sonic jumps on speed monitors and goes into a spin dash and keeps hitting monitors until he ends up hitting spikes and dies. Wow! Now this may seem familiar. Well, that's because this part, Act 0 and Act 1, were ripped off and reused in Sally.exe, the creepypasta and the game. Act 0 is used as the main premise for Amy's stage, and Act 1 is used as the main premise for Cream's stage. Both the creator of the game and the creepypasta admitted that Sally.exe was a rip-off of this creepypasta. Speaking of which, we get to Act 9, which was ripped off for Sally's stage in Sally.exe. Basically, Sonic just gets crushed by walls, that's really it. Then we get to the end zone, which Sonic is attacked by a lizard thing and is killed. I really do not know what the fuck that thing really is. And in the end, Suicide Mouse.avi music plays. Now for my final thoughts. Is this creepypasta scary? Hell no. But you can say that about most pastas in the 2010s. I mean, this creepypasta doesn't have much going for it. It's just Sonic dying multiple times, and for some reason, some dude decided to rip it off for a Sonic.exe sequel. Still, it's a nice pasta and a fun look back on the pastas of the 2010s. Only thing missing is the hyper-realistic blood.
Reese's Puffs.
Not exactly sure if you can consider this one to be a creepypasta, but I'm including it anyway. Since Sonic is one of the first non-EXE Sonic related horror to go viral, especially when it comes to brain rot. For some reason. But hey, I like it a lot. I respect it for finally breaking the EXE status quo that Sonic horror has been stuck in for almost 10 years. Yes, I know there were non-EXE Sonic horror before this, but Shin Sonic was the first one to become popular, and I hope many others get inspired by Shin Sonic and make their own original stories. Anyway, as for the story is that Sonic becomes possessed by a pagan god called Malak. I am not making this up. Sonic becomes a predator who eats living creature. He kills Robotnik and Tails and terrorizes people. Later on, he targets Knuckles, but Knuckles is saved by some unknown entity, and now Knuckles has to collect the Super Emeralds to defeat Shin Sonic. Sonic is also on the hunt for the Chaos Emeralds too. And that's basically the story right now. The series is currently ongoing and new episodes are to be released. Now, as for my opinion, do I like Shin Sonic? Kind of. I don't think he's better than Sonic.exe per se, for example, and I really don't like the main story at all. And I'm not exactly a fan of Sonic being possessed, because I feel like the story would have been more interesting if it was an alternative universe where Sonic was evil. I mean, in this universe, Robotnik is also a good guy seemingly, so I don't get why they couldn't do an evil Sonic. But still, I respect the series. At the time, Sonic horror was oversaturated by the EXE medium, and it was nice to see someone finally break the status quo. I hope Shin Sonic encourages people to be original because it shows you don't need to be Sonic.exe all over again just to have your story be popular. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go kill myself.
Alright bank dude, I did it. I made that video. Can you please lift my debt now?
Nanny. It was taken down. This is unforgivable. YouTube will pay for this. Make a new video. Make it longer. Make it better. Make it stronger.
Please bank dude, 6 minutes is enough.
What about the axe? You need the axe. The mortgage won't pay itself. Chop chop.
What happens if I don't comply?
Sonic.exe will haunt you forever.
Dear God.
Okay, so Bang Dude is a fucking dick and I fucking hate him. Anyway, rant aside, if you guys ever watched Haunted Gaming back in the day, you guys probably heard of this creepypasta, and it recently became somewhat popular again when a YouTuber by the name of Hey Peter did a video and narration on this pasta. This pasta is called Sonic 3 Hacked Cartridge, posted in the early to mid 2010s. This creepypasta also has screenshots, so it makes my job easier. This story is about a girl whose childhood friend wanted to play Sonic 3 with her again. However, due to her brother giving her cartridges a bath in the bathtub, she has to go to the thrift market to get the cartridges. There she buys Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles without checking them because of course for the sake of the plot she has to be an idiot, and she goes to her house and interlocks them. Friend plays the game and weird stuff happens. First off, the game is all green for some reason, even though red is the creepypasta color, and this makes the main protagonist have nausea for some reason. Then when they enter the special stage, Knuckles is there and Tails is looking away from Sonic. Then when they enter the special stage again, Sally is there in her first Archie design and Knuckles is being a dick to Sonic and punching him. Then when she gets to the first boss fight of the game, instead of Eggman, it's Sally. But the game restarts and they collect the emeralds and the floor and level is literally Sally Acorn. After a while, these two shut off the game. Also, some girl named Sally Anderson is mentioned. And after a month, the main protagonist goes on a forum to tell people about this experience, until some random messages her and then invites her to a room. He demands for her to give him her address because he's actually the creator of this ROM, and actually spams her, "Give me your fucking address," multiple times in the story, I kid you not. After a while, a girl searches up who Sally Anderson is. She's a missing girl. She then asks this guy who Sally Anderson is, and he replies, "Sally Anderson is mine." She blocks him and a few months later gets an email from him where he legit doxes her and finds out where she lives. I kid you not. He even mentions the workplace she works at. And the story ends with a reveal that Sally Anderson was murdered and buried under floorboards. Now for my opinion, this pasta is amazing. Sure, the serial killer plot point should have been built up to better, and I actually like the idea. In this story, the cartridge isn't haunted but made by a serial killer to relive his sick fantasy, which makes it realistic and unnerving. This is a story that actually could happen, which is why it's so scary. Anyone can make a Sonic ROM hack where they can relive their fantasies, and you can find that ROM hack anywhere, from a store or on the internet. And this is why this is my favorite creepypasta behind Sonic.exe, and this is an actual original Sonic pasta that's good, and it deserves more light. I rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Please help me, Bang Dude is a fucking dick. They fucking suck, horse dick.
عليك بالعافية يا ابو عمار كل يوم تعال الدمار يا ابو.
Again, not a creepypasta by any means, but I still thought to include it because I was running out of topics to talk about. Green Mountain is a game that was randomly uploaded on a Sonic forum around last year. The game's origins and creator are unknown. There are 2 games so far and I'll cover them both here. In the first game, you play as Sonic in Green Hill Zone, and what you have to do is climb up and platform your way up Green Mountain. And once you reach the top, you meet a Sonic that has no face and is completely hollow on the inside seemingly. There's a boss battle and you beat him, and after waiting 10 minutes your Sonic will dissolve into nothing, and that's basically the game. On to the second game. It's Marble Zone and Spring Yard Zone, and you can also painfully kill the enemies of this game. Anyway, you play around until you reach the end of the game where you see what looks like a hospital bed. And there's more to this game than just that. There's apparently hidden code about this game, about hiding a dead body and whatnot, which I'm not gonna go into here. I'll probably save it for another video, honestly. Now, what do I think of this game? It's it's better than Sonic.exe, which was just walking to the right. But still, this game is just minimalistic. It falls under the category of horror, where mystery is what makes it scary, which I'm not really a fan of. And the lore would be cool if it weren't for the fact that these games are released months apart from each other. Therefore, you have to wait a long time to get more information, which really isn't for me. The game itself is very cool, don't get me wrong, but unlike the original Sonic.exe, I just replay sometimes for fun. I don't see myself coming back to this game anytime soon. It just simply doesn't interest me that much. Again, I can make a video on this stuff, so I'll keep it short. Anyway, this is it, the end of the video. Yeah, I know, the video was short as hell, but that's not my fault. There isn't many non-exe related Sonic creepypasta or horror related Sonic pastas in general, which is why I had to use Shin Sonic and Green Mountain to fill this video. A lot of Sonic horror content nowadays is just exe or a rip-off of exe. When it isn't, it's just a bad creepypasta all around filled with cliches. There is no incentive to write something original because these days Sonic.exe is so popular, it's easy to write a rip-off of it than it is to write a nice, original, compelling story. What I'm trying to say is it's just easier to rip off Sonic.exe because it's hard to write an original or engaging story. I hope there are more non-exe related Sonic horror out there, and if you know any, please do let me know of it. But as of currently, I can't find any. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I worked very hard on this one. It's nice to talk about a topic I actually find interest in, and hopefully I can make a part 2 of this and make more videos like this in the future. Also, forgive me if the commentary and video wasn't that good. Just a reminder, this is my first time doing this in years, and my first time doing a video essay type video. Until then, see you later.
Check it out, here we go, let me say it. Jacks on wax, make the DJs wanna play it. The front to the front, and the back.